So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another zombies video where today we are back with a zombies Q&A, taking your questions from the comment section below and answering them. If there's anything that you want to know, as always, leave your questions down below. If you've enjoyed the video at the end, then leave a like rating, that as always would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, and when you're ready, here we go. So the first question of today comes from It's Milton15, and he says, BOA, can you please explain what fractures in the timeline means? Thanks. So a fracture, the definition means the cracking or breaking of a hard object or material. So it's something that is breaking. And as we know in zombies, we have fractured universes. In fact, we have several different ones. Of course, we have the original timeline, we then have Dimension 63, but then besides from that, we have maps which are in their own separate fractures. So for example, the Giant is a Decepto fracture. Decepto means deception, so it's a deception fracture. We then also have the Prodatone fracture. Obviously these are all Latin words, but I believe when translated, Prodatone means treason or betrayal. And we then also have the Agonia fracture, and I think Agonia translates to something like agony, so kind of like a pain fracture. So in the zombies timeline, we have those three fractures: Agonia, Prodatone, and Decepto. Deception, agony, and treason. The deception fracture, of course, goes to the Giant, and possibly Darius and Draka, of course, when the two Richtophans meet face to face in the Giant, that is deception. We then go to the betrayal fracture, which of course is Zetsubou no Shima when Takeo was betrayed by the Emperor, and then finally the agony fracture, which is of course the end, Revelations. Or actually also Gorod Karovi with Nikolai and his older drunk self. So that's the different fractures and what they mean, and like I said, fracture means a cracking, so these are universes that have broken up from the original. Kind of think of the original timeline and how that would have gone down. Well, a fracture is kind of like taking that timeline, pulling it out from the rest of the storyline, and when you do that, a few things get mixed up and changed around. And so now you have this small little fracture on its own, where although most things are how they would be originally, some things are kind of messed up. I guess that's the best way I could explain it, but I don't know, maybe you guys could do a better job in the comment section below. Riz Rozoli, is that how you pronounce it, says, why are there oil puddles in Ascension? Now you may think this is stupid or means nothing, but actually it's quite interesting that you've picked up on this, because there are loads of oil puddles in Ascension, and I believe these come from the Casmian mechanism. As we know, the Casmian mechanism, which is a contraption, a device that exploded in Ascension, and we can hear Gersh tell us about that when we start playing the map. But yes, like I said, I believe these oil puddles come from the Casmian mechanism. As we know, it broke, it must be repaired, it exploded, and we can see pieces of it all around Ascension, all bits of debris that just flew everywhere when this device exploded. So we can assume, since it's a mechanical device, it would have needed oil to keep it running. These splatters of oil that you see around Ascension are off the Casmian mechanism when it exploded. Rudgeloo says, wanna hear a bad joke? Knack knack, who's there? Untoten. Samuel Gomez asks, when are you going to do a video of the full zombie storyline so we can understand? Love your video. So thank you for that. Now I have, and I really want to do a full storyline video for zombies, but right now it's just going to take so freaking long to do. If you didn't know, I have about a 5-minute version of the zombie storyline, which I kind of made a few months ago, and it was something that I wanted to do in a unique way, so I kind of made it that it rhymes. That video, that 5-minute zombie storyline video I did, was supposed to rhyme, and for that reason, I know a lot of people didn't fully understand or get everything, or thought that it was just too quick, but it was just something different, my little interpretation that I thought I'd do on the zombie storyline. So if you're interested, check that out in the comment section below. But as for a full zombie storyline, it is going to take ages and ages to do, probably a whole week to make, depending on how long the video is. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is it worth doing now we have all of this information about the zombie storyline? We have the Canorium, the game is finished, so we can literally go from World at War all the way to the end of Black Ops 3, and it depends also if I decide to either just talk for a full video or add quotes and radios in between. If I do quotes and radios, the full storyline video is probably going to be about 4 or 5 hours hours long, or if I just talk non-stop, it'll be about an hour long. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll definitely consider it, and hopefully over this next year, I could try and find some time to do a video if you guys want that. The next question comes from Zarek Beck, and he says, or she, why didn't Dr. Monty stop the infection? Naturally, that's quite interesting because Dr. Monty in the zombie storyline is supposed to be a godly figure. He is literally supposed to be the god of the zombies universe. We know that he has the power to do things down on Earth. He has the power to manipulate objects. If he could, manipulate the gobblegums into our universes, give us the drops, the max ammos, the insta-kills, give us the perk drinks. We even see in Revelations he has the ability to wipe people from existence, where he starts to begin to kill and just delete Takeo, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Richtofen from existence. They begin to fade away. We can see Dr. Monty has the ability to do that. So the question you're asking is, why doesn't Dr. Monty just simply wipe the zombies from existence? Why doesn't he stop the infection? Obviously, that's something I can't answer. That's only something that Treyarch themselves could answer. I could possibly say that maybe there's too many zombies. He just can't deal with it himself. Maybe that's not an option. Maybe that's not how it works. But it's definitely an interesting question to ask Treyarch themselves. Samuel says, why do the Lunarlanders look like the things that the monkeys come down on in Ascension? Basically, why do the Lunarlanders look like the ships that the monkeys come down on? That's because they are. The monkeys in Ascension were sent out of the atmosphere on Lunarlanders, the very same thing that we use in Ascension to get from one area to another and activate the Pack-a-Punch. The monkeys weren't sent into space on rocket ships, they were simply sent to space on Lunarlanders, the same things that we use, and that's why we see them back down to Earth on Lunarlanders. Days of Regret says, would a Paris Catacomb Zombies map be a good idea? Now, I don't know if you probably do, but Paris was originally, a very long time ago, supposed to be a zombies map. In fact, it was supposed to be DLC 4 for Black Ops 1. It was supposed to be Moon. Moon, in the end, replaced it. Now, Jason Blundell, in an interview, did say a little bit about Paris and told us a little bit about it. I'm going to play the clip and I'll come back after.
I still talk to people these days, and they'll say, oh, you do zombies? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I love Deriz.
All right, that's cool.
I always hear that come up.
Well, that was out of absolute fear, and then a little known fact, or a fact that's kind of discussed a little bit, is we were starting to write stuff for a DLC 4 at the time as well, so create stuff as well, and that's where you'll hear about like Paris and Coast and a cinema, and that got re-adopted into Kino, and then the Coast map got turned into Call of the Dead, and then the Paris map got turned into Moon.
I've heard about that. I guess the Moon in the early stages was Paris, and then it got reworked into being on the Moon.
Well,
how do you make that jump?
So they and it was a fantastic team. It was a different kind of group of guys, but a fantastic team took it, and then just certain of the little ideas got moved. And I don't want to say it was just Paris, because it wasn't. Paris is a very different map, but Paris had the idea of a no man's land. And it had the Eiffel Tower, and then underneath that was a teleporter, and then there was the catacombs of Paris underneath that. And the idea was that you went into the kind of teleporter, and the Eiffel Tower was essentially a conduit for the power for it. And then you got transported to this middle of nowhere where the Pack-a-Punch was, and it was just zombies all coming at you, and there was no cover, and it was brutal.
So would say the zombies all coming at you, would that maybe be reworked into like the no man's land we had in Moon?
Yeah. Oh. So that was that idea that kind of moved over.
So that was in an interview with Johnny J25, but you can see Paris was supposed to be a zombies map. We can see back in Deriz, it was planned. On the billboards that we see in that map, there is a picture of the Eiffel Tower in the background with a zombie standing in front of it. The catacombs, the Eiffel Tower area, Paris in general was originally supposed to be a zombies map. It was scrapped as an idea, and then at the very last second, we had Moon. Let me know in the comment section below, would you still, or would you have rather have seen Paris instead of Moon? If not, would you like to see Paris as a zombies map? We have already been to France with Origins, but obviously Paris would be totally different, especially with the Eiffel Tower and the catacombs. So anyway guys, there we go. That is it for today's video. Hopefully you have all enjoyed. If you have, as always, a like rating if you haven't done it already would be very much appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest zombies videos on the channel, and also click that little bell notification icon as well. Leave any comments that you have down in the comment section below, especially some interesting ones, not only to do with the storyline, but also gameplay, Easter eggs, whatever you guys want to ask me. They don't even have to be to do with zombies. They can really be, in general, to do with anything. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for 370,000 subscribers, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.